Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so spontaneous live. Today I wanted to speak about trust. Now, please bear with my voice. It's a little bit husky today. I apologize, but I can't put my life on hold when I have a husky voice because I never speak. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now that can make us question who we can trust. Who do we believe? Now, we read in the paper, we see on the news, we see on the internet, people may lose their jobs because of AI. We see that, what else do we see? We see that sorry about that. We see that sometimes, sorry, I just got a knock at the door, so I apologize for that. We see that jobs are struggling, like companies are struggling right now to keep people on because they want to make a profit. That's what business does. Business wants to make a profit. So sometimes people are told, and I'm hearing this from a lot of friends, hey, we're having to downsize the company. We're sorry, we're going to have to let you go. Your position is no longer required because we can get AI to do that. Now, there's nothing worse than losing your job, right? Like, there's nothing worse than that. And there's a sense of shock and a sense, like a lot of emotions to deal with if that happens. But the ripple effects then come into play in the home life. When we had, I'm just being careful with my words. So scenarios will bring up stress and anxiety for people. Loss of jobs, loss of somebody. Now, what happens in relationships, and I'm not a relationship counselor, but I do work with a lot of people around their role and coach them through some of the strategies they may be able to use in relationships. But before I got to that point of being able to do that and doing a lot of study and doing some counseling studies, that's a whole past story. But one of the things that I learned was when trust is gone, it's really hard to bring it back. And often when we're looking for a form of validation or approval, we look outside of ourselves. So then when you're in a relationship, whether it's a work relationship, a friendship, a romantic relationship, and that trust is gone, it can do a lot of damage, and this is where you should always seek professional help and professional support, but it can do a lot of damage for people. So what do you do when your trust is gone? What happens when the people that you trusted to be there for you, to support you, somehow breaks that trust? Let me share an example with you. I was in a relationship with somebody, and it started off, was meant to just be, casual, get to know each other, move on type of thing. Out of that came what I thought was a friendship. This person's very, very charming and convincing. It then moved into being friends for quite some time. I'm not going to go into all the details just for privacy of other parties related to this person. But there were times when we went out and he would be quite abusive in his talking to me. So we might be out at the shopping center, for example, and I might have gone ahead. He might have stopped to look at something and I've gone ahead. And he would yell out in the middle of the shopping center and call me names, trying to get me to stop and wait for him. And I just kept walking. I'm like, no, I'm not responding. I'm not even looking back. I'm just going to keep walking. And then behind closed doors, that abuse, that verbal abuse, those mind games got worse. And I used to just get in my car and go. And then I would get the whole barrage of, I'm sorry, I was just angry, I was just whatever excuse. I was just this, which was meant to make it okay. Now, when things were good, they were good, but when they were bad, they were bad. So after a while of trying to process this and understand it, I decided to stop. I thought, I'm going to have nothing to do with this person. But a lot of damage had been done in that I started to question myself. And other days I've talked about identity as well. I started to question, what did I do wrong? And this is what a lot of people who have experienced toxic relationships and abuse do. What have I done wrong? What could I do better? Why did I allow myself to be treated this way? There are so many questions. And those questions, if you don't get the right support, can just keep you spiraling. Now, sometimes what happens is that when people are in those situations where their trust has been broken and you get the hot and cold, so, love bombing, and then the toxicity again, and this cycle happens, and your friends say, get out of there, cut this person off, have nothing to do with them. And initially, when you're in the toxicity part of it, you can leave. You can walk away. You can block them. You can do all of those things. But sometimes what happens when you do that, behaviors can escalate. And it's having strategies when you're ready to leave for the potential escalation of behavior. Now, this is quite a big thing where trust is lost, and it can actually really impact your every aspect of your life. As I said, your trust in yourself, your trust in other people, you question yourself a little bit more, and that can then add stress and anxiety to your life if you don't get the right help. So if you're in a situation like this, please, please, please speak to a counselor or a psychologist. It's really important that you get the right support. You leave that toxic relationship when you feel safe to leave and understand what could happen when you do leave. So you get the right support to leave. But I want to go a bit further than that. That's just one example. I want to take this a little further. When we lose our trust of other people, initially it's like it can be isolated to that one person or that situation. But what it can do is make you question yourself, your behavior, your choices. Now, sometimes questioning that is actually a really good thing. Like out of that can come up, oh, I see that clearly. But sometimes it can keep you spiraling. So having awareness of that is really important. So how do you build up trust again once it's gone? I'm not even saying with that one person or that situation. How do you build up trust again? So one strategy, and I talk about trust, I talk about anything I do the videos on, I talk about in more depth in my membership. So ISO Empowered Success membership or the ISO Empowered Business Owners membership. So we talk about a lot of these conversations in more depth in those. But one strategy that I learned when my trust had been burnt, when it was gone, and I was questioning myself so much that I had trouble enjoying myself when I went out. I had uh, being neurodivergent, became hyper focused on it a little bit. Being autistic, taking things literally, like, oh, and then realizing later they didn't quite mean it the way they said it. I can laugh at this now because of the lessons that I've learned along the way. I also accept that this is part of who I am. So my t-shirt, I'm not sure if you can see it or not, says no be accept. It's the foundation of my business. So coming back to, what is that one strategy you can do that can start to help you feel like you can trust people and situations again? It's a really simple strategy. Takes a little bit of practice, but it is so simple. Any ideas what it might be? What are you thinking of? What are you thinking of right now when it comes to how can I trust again? Trust yourself. Trust yourself. The world is full of people and experiences whom you shouldn't trust. But the one thing is that when you know yourself so well and you trust the decisions that you make, and you have a support network that if you're not sure, you can go to that support network. Or maybe you have a coach or a counselor that you can go to when you're not sure. You're going, I want to go this way, but am I missing something? I've thought of this, and this. Now, with me and my hyperfocus, I will break down every scenario, probably too much. I probably go overboard with that one, but it is who I am. But when you trust yourself and you learn, or maybe you already know exactly the traits that you have, your strengths, the things that may challenge you, when you know this about yourself, your identity, your core message, and you trust that and you back yourself. And as I said, have that support network, that you can go to when you're not quite sure. You are not let down by as many people. You know that you're making informed decisions. And if somebody does something to break your trust because you've trusted them, you thought they were amazing, you were like, yes. And that might go on for a couple of years, and then something happens and you find out that no, you couldn't have trusted them. When that's a situation, what happens is you can sit there and go, okay, what did I learn from that situation? What was that person? What was I not seeing around that situation? Because we learn and grow continuously. And when you're open to learning and growing, and you're open to the opportunities to say, in a calm manner, oh, that didn't work out well, did it? Better rethink that one. This all comes down to and back to you. You are your best support network. As I said, sometimes we need external input, and that's perfect. That's great. And other times we need to do a bit of research into a situation, a scenario. And then other times we know instinctively, yes, this is right. No, it's not. Or we've got a feeling, like a gut feeling. You know, when you get that gut feeling and you go, nah, this is all BS. What a load of rubbish. Like, and you just have that feeling, that knowing, whatever it is. It becomes even stronger and better. And you're able to stand your ground even more. And you're able to be you respectfully, honestly, be you with integrity. When you trust yourself, when you know yourself so well, you can be yourself and you can accept yourself for who you are. I'm not perfect. I don't know, like there's so many things I don't know. I look at myself in the mirror sometimes and go, oh, my hair's a bit scraggly today, or I really wish that, I hadn't been so sick for so long. So other things that I would like to be perfect, they're not. I froze there for a minute. Sorry, my internet's playing up. Apologies for that. I'm not perfect. This stream is not perfect. None of my videos will be perfect. But I'll do my best to keep it real. I'm showing up the best I can. And I'm not for everybody, and that's okay. So what are you doing to build up the trust in yourself so that when you do make decisions, when you do let people in, when you do go and have experiences, that you know that you show up the best you can? You learn what is required for you for that job or that position or whatever it is. And you have your eyes open. You're open to opportunities to learn more about the person, the people, or whatever the situation is. But at the end of the day, you trust yourself to make the right decisions, and you have the network around you that supports you. Now, the one little thing I will say about this is remember that, especially when you start something new. So, for example, I've got a book coming out called Embodied Queen. I've written other books. I often don't tell a lot of people about that book. I certainly don't let a lot of people read it beforehand. Even though I've got some amazing people that I can trust with it, I still don't let it out of my sight. The reason being is because even though I trust them, there's certain things you keep to yourself. There's certain things that will help you to be the best you can. So when the trust is gone in a relationship, a workplace, a friendship, think about it. Think about, should I stay? Should I go? What is right for me? I'm going to end it here because I can feel and hear my voice is going to go very, very soon. This is something I have to live with. Talk about trusting yourself. I know that if I keep going, it's going to hurt more and I'm going to lose the voice completely. But at the end of the day, trust yourself and know when you need help. And if you are in a toxic relationship and the trust is gone and you're spinning, you believe them because you get loved bombed, but then, then it just goes back to the toxicity. If you're in that cycle, take a deep breath, take a little bit of space where you can and say, what do I deserve in this life? And a lot of this comes back to your self-belief and your self-confidence. It comes back to knowing you, to being you and accepting you. I know, I'm animated. Guys, thank you for watching. And I appreciate you. If you could hit the like button, I would so appreciate that. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate you subscribing. We're going to bring out more and more content. As I said, we go deeper with this, and there's a lot more layers I bring in our memberships. There's a lot of content that is my IP that I like to protect, but it is worth the membership, and we'll share with you. A lot of things are launching next month and then in May. If you're watching this later on down the track and it's not March, then maybe we'll have seen a few other things. Anyway, thank you so much again for watching. I do know that there's going to be a few people that I know live streaming shortly. So there's Excited Utterance that you might like to go check out their channel. They have a variety of videos. There's Hella and Dali do that one. I'm not sure whether Jolene is still streaming at the moment or not. But yeah, there's some amazing people out there that you might like to also follow as well. All right. Thanks, guys, and take care of you. Appreciate you.